Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm really pleased today to be joined by Damien Lardoux from EQ Investors. He's head of sustainable investing and impact investing at EQ Investors in London, and he's kindly said that he'll join us to answer some questions. Those questions I've kind of planned in advance and spoken to Damien about, so they're not going to be too much of a shock. So thank you for joining us, Damien, and why not? Let's start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself and about your role at EQ.
Sure, Gretchen. So thank you for having me, and hi everyone. So my name is Damien Lardoux. I'm head of impact investing at EQ Investors. I used to work for an American investment bank in Paris, where sustainability wasn't really at the forefront of their minds at all. And I came across EQ Investors about 8 years ago, and they were pioneering impact investments in Africa. And this was really, I found, really interesting strategy. And they asked me to join the firm and see how we could make impact investments available to everyone. So I found, the challenge really attractive, and since then it's been a fantastic journey where, we've done our best to maximize both returns and impact, and I think clients have also really enjoyed the journey alongside, yourself and ourselves. So that's on a professional side. On the sort of personal side, I'm married and the father of 3 very young daughters who really keep me up at night, as I'm sure you would all imagine. And obviously on this topic of sustainability, I think as a parent or, as individuals, I think we really have the duty to speak up about sustainability issues and think about what we can all do in order to minimize the impact we have on our planet.
Absolutely, and that's certainly one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today and do this feature, but also with, because we are seeing so many more inquiries that are about how we can be kinder to the planet, kinder to people, really think about the impacts as individuals that we're having, and how we might be able to help that through investment. So on that note, can you tell us a little bit more about what really, sustainable and impact investing really is for our listeners?
Sure. I mean, maybe I'm going to be a little bit controversial, but in our eyes, this is about common sense investing. So what you're doing is that you're investing in companies which are usually well-run and which are investing in fast-growing trends. I'm talking here about climate change. I'm talking about healthcare. So really, the idea here is that you are investing and supporting those companies that are developing solutions to tackle the world's most pressing issues. So that's really the idea of sustainable investing.
Okay, and for many years, as a financial advisor and financial planner, I've been involved with people who have specific investment needs that they want us to try and form a solution for. And one of those things, typically, we used to really talk quite a lot about ethical investing. But so how is impact, sustainable and ethical, different? What are really those differences now that we're seeing come out in the profession and in the solutions that we can offer to the clients?
Sure. So I know ethical investing, means a different thing for different people. But from sort of an industry point of view, when the way ethical investing has approached, investments is about screening out the most controversial issues. And here we're talking about excluding companies involved in tobacco, in alcohol manufacturing, or in gambling or pornography. So historically, ethical investing has been about screening out, about avoiding the harm. Really, when you invest in sustainably, or if you want to make a positive impact, here what you do, you focus on what we call the positive screening. So you actively seek out for those companies that are innovative by nature and which have developed products and services which are tackling the world's most pressing issues on society or the environment. So that's really the key difference. And so another way of thinking about sustainable investing could be, sort of, it's an evolution of ethical investing, or ethical investing 2.0, if you want.
So it's sort of the next stage, I guess, and how things are moving forward. Okay. And how do you think opportunities for this type of investing has changed, say, in the last 5 years? What are the themes and things you've seen change?
Yes, it's fair to say that 5 years ago, if you wanted your money to make a positive impact, you could, because, for example, our portfolios have been around for 8 years, but it was seen as a bit more niche. Today, it's really mainstream. There are thousands of companies that you can invest in, which have developed products and services which are core to the activities, which are helping to make a positive impact. So, and this, you can do it across a number of asset classes. So that really means that you've got plenty of choice to build a well-diversified portfolio, which is going to meet your risk and return, the risk and return profile you're looking for. And then it's no surprise then, but there's so much interest as well from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Then asset managers have then launched a number of investment funds on the back of it. So yeah, so really, for us, this has made our work much easier than it was 5 years ago.
Okay, excuse my cough, everyone. So if you're a new investor and you were interested in this right now, what do you think, if you were asking a financial planner, Damien, you would want to know? What are those questions you think you'd be asking?
Sure. So I guess, a very sort of common questions we get asked is whether or not, you can put all your money into sustainable investments. Sometimes there's some sort of misconceptions around, sustainable investing, meaning that, that they might be, too risky, or, and that you may have to compromise on your financial return. So these are, so clearly that will be one question, and sort of these misconceptions that you want to be addressed by the financial advisor that you're speaking with. I guess as well, going back to one of the points you alluded to earlier on, is you want to understand how these portfolios are being built. Is it only about, screening out the most controversial sectors, or is it about actively seeking out the solutions? And these are two different ways of approaching it. I guess, another question maybe you might want to ask is that whether or not the advisor you're working with is, how important sustainable investing is for them, and potentially whether or not they are also invested. And that could be an interesting question, and might put them slightly on the back foot. But I think, it's, I guess, you should say you should do what you preach, don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something, we're fully behind at Magenta, and want to our clients to be able to have the choice to understand the products and options and investments that are out there. So thank you, Damien. I think that's really helpful little snapshot of talking about impact investing and the options available. Damien's been kind enough to answer 10 questions, some of them here again that we talked about just now, but a few other questions in a little bit more depth, especially about the UN sustainable goals and how EQ and their impact portfolios aim to try and invest in things that are aiming towards helping those achieve those UN goals, and a variety of different things that I've spoken to him about. So you can go to our blog to read that full Q&A, and the link should be underneath this video as well. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you, Damien, for taking part today and answering my questions.
Thank you, Gretchen, for your great questions. Bye-bye.